thing that comes to mind for me about, how I guess a super boss up woman could win in dating, is like the metrics that she's using to measure success. So like the metrics she's using for, I hate to use the word value, but like the measures that she's using to determine her desirability in the dating market. Like, just because you bossed up financially and in your job doesn't mean that that increases your desirability as a woman in the dating market. Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Buffet Podcast with your hosts, Brandan and
Ciandra, but I don't know if I can throw up that C.
Don't do that. Like I said,
B and C, but not for what you think.
Yeah, C for Ciandra.
C for Ciandra.
Yeah. So welcome to episode.
Big B.
What's it? Episode 98.
98.
The Buffet Podcast. You're
Make it great.
You're close to that 100.
Yeah, and if we know that 100 is coming up, you better tell a friend to subscribe. We're trying to go up for our 100th episode. 100 free episodes? Are you kidding me?
Dang, yeah, y'all got Ciandra just getting at y'all. It's serious. So, like she said, go ahead right now. Go ahead and like and subscribe right now if you haven't already. You should have. That's the entry to get into the next part. You know what I'm saying? To get into the next part, I need you to go ahead and like and subscribe right now. Now I'm saying we got ourselves has been going up a little bit over this last few weeks. We up at like 70 right now, but we're trying to get to our first, mini goal is to get to 100. And then you say, once you get to 100, I need 10x. I'm trying to 10x and then 10x it again and then 10x it again.
Again and again. Run it up.
I'm trying to get some Mr. Beast numbers. I mean, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
But don't say nothing to me in public. I want to continue to live my life with all of the freedom. I was thinking that when we sat down, I was like, when you sit down and you record content at home in your own space, it's like, oh, it's comfortable. It's fine. I'm just chatting. Me and Brandon are just chatting to the screen out into the world. Then when we had our live audience, I was like, oh yeah, people really do listen to this. I have to remember that it's not just me and you chatting.
Oh, you talking when the clip went crazy?
No, when we had Marguerite here.
Oh yeah,
and our live audience, I was like, oh
shout
yeah,
out
like a real reminder, physical, that people listen to this. And the clip too is like, oh yeah, people who I don't know have any interaction with are gonna watch this and may be able to recognize me
and have opinions.
And I don't want my life to change in the sense of people walking up to me. I love walking outside freely. Mm-hmm. I never want to be a celebrity. Never. So if you see me, you can of course say hi to me, but just give me a little key. Do a little halfway.
Hey, head nod. You know what I'm saying? That's respectable, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Or I'm not scary though. Let me add another some more context. I'm not scary. I am pretty personable, but also, please. I want to be normal.
Be respectful. Be respectful.
One day, if we really do blow up,
mm-hmm.
You know what happened with Keke Palmer's man this week?
Mm-hmm.
And then they went back and dug up his tweet that was like, yeah, when I be insecure, I be lashing out. One day in the future, when it's like I'm standoffish to people, if this ever happens, I'm standoffish to people. They're like, yeah, she told us back in 2023, don't even say hi to her.
Yeah,
don't support this hoe.
Dang.
But please,
this is what's wrong with modern women.
I'm trying to provide all the context necessary for you to know that you can say hi to me. I'm not standoffish. I'm just saying that I personally don't want my freedom to be impeded by being noticeable.
I don't ever want to be able to go out and get me a quick takeaway meal or a quick takeout because these people are gonna bombard you. It ain't safe. I don't want to have to move like Drake moved just to go to Whole Foods.
Right. I'm real regular, and I want to remain regular.
Okay. Say
regular, schmegula.
Okay.
Word to Cardi B.
All right, there we go. So we gave y'all plenty of time to like and subscribe during that whole, side tracking. All right.
I forgot. You said we got to run a tight ship today.
Yeah, I'm saying. No,
sorry.
We should be all right. So we're going to hop right into it because as I'm sure everyone has already liked and subscribed because, they really bang with us, right? Yeah.
You see these guns.
Yeah. So you ready?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get into it.
Fellas, what's the easiest way a shorty has bagged you? This is a safe space. Met her at a club a few times, and then one time I needed a ride home. She said sure, and then stopped at her house and said, I'll take you home in the morning.
Oh my God. She could be a 4 out of 10. I'm going in. I promise you now she could be a 4
I'll
out.
take you home in the morning.
And the thing is as well, I'm so polite.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm
not going to be like, shut up and
drive
take me
me
home.
Uber. Was at a kickback playing space. Didn't even know her. Jamaican with pretty eyes. She came over. She asked if I would teach her how to play. Next thing, I was in a 2-year relationship.
Facts.
She still doesn't know how to play.
Yeah.
Fixed the back of my collar and said, you got nobody to do this for you.
That's naughty.
That is naughty.
I know that's what will get you. Out of the two of us, traditional housewife stuff will pattern you up like a present.
What's the easy?
That's funny. Those guys are very, very funny, and I think the British accent adds a little je ne sais quoi to the discussion.
Yeah, this is the shits and gigs.
I think it's supposed to be shits and gigs.
Okay,
But
maybe they can't say the podcast. And there were also some good comments. You want to hear some good comments?
Mm-hmm.
I tapped him on the shoulder and smiled. He froze and said nothing, so I just stood there. His friend shoved him and he came back to his senses. Turns out he'd been trying to figure out how to talk to me all night. Together 7 years, married 4 years, 3 kids, and he's rubbing my feet as I watch reels. Mm-hmm.
She's living the dream.
She is. Never met him before.
3 kids. That's 3 kids in 7 years.
Yeah. They wasn't wasting no time.
No, go ahead.
Never met him before. He was fine AF. He was cooking dinner at our mutual friend's house. I was bold enough to steal a piece of food. It was so delicious. I looked up at him and said, I'm going to marry you one day. He responds, is that right? And I walked away. He randomly calls me 2 days later and we've been together since then. 11 years, married 5 years, 2 extra kids.
Extra kids? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. But also, why are these women answering? Are the women asking guys like how?
No. Oh, why are women answering?
Yeah. Like, it's supposed to be guys in here like
answering the easiest way that women
have bagged you, and then women's like, this is how easy it was. This is how easy it was for me to go ahead and get my man.
Oh, all right.
But
I don't ever want the ladies to say that. Shut up and sit down.
Yeah, like guys, just speak, and then comments full of women
because women be commenting.
I'm saying, but yeah, I like funny stuff, and the listening to it, I'm like, damn, I can absolutely see in each one of those scenarios working, like each one. First, but damn, but then I immediately was thinking like, yo, in any other context, that's creepy as fuck,
a little rapey.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, I'll take you home in the morning. I was like, yo, if that was the reverse, hey, yo, no.
But okay, let me tell you this also, and I feel like we know this. Okay. And as I was saying before, the line between something being cringy or not cringy is really based off of the consent piece. And if you're attracted to the other person, you got into my car already, you already like me.
No, that won't hold up.
That's why I said the consent piece.
Are you implying that getting into the car is consent?
No, I'm not. Don't try to walk me down this line.
No, I was like,
do me.
I'm just following you're like, you say you got in the car. You said it was about the consent piece. You got in the car, which means you already like me.
Stop this. I don't want you to do this to me. What I'm trying to say is the line for what's acceptable versus unacceptable has to, 1, do with consent, and 2, do with attraction. Like, there are some things that I want that you can say to me that nobody else in the world can say to me because 1, we're in a committed relationship, but 2, I'm attracted to you. Even if you were like not my man and you said something to me that may have been a little bit off the wall, it would be like, maybe, you being a little spicy, you getting a little fast, but I still backlog you like, okay, I like the sound of that. And that's why I feel like it's okay in these situations. A man could be, he liked it. It worked out.
I mean,
so what is your argument here, or what do you think that you shouldn't even say it?
Well, no, really not. So you're not. It could have went horribly wrong. Well, it's probably not gonna go wrong because it's a woman who said that to a man. And generally, we give a lot more leeway to women when they make these type of overtures, because I don't think women really know when they try to shoot their shot, like how corny or how unacceptable it would sound if it was the reverse. So like if a woman came up to me and say, hey, can you give me a ride home? I'm like, okay, cool. But I take her to my place. I'm like, I'll take you home in the morning. Like, sure, it could have worked if she liked it and she wanted me and stuff like that. But it could have easily been like, police, help, police, help. So it's like the consent part. I can't be like, oh, she got in the car, so that means she already liked me. I can't. That's not going to fly nowhere. Mm-hmm. It has to be emphatic and like overt consent. It's like, do you consent to sexual relations with me right now?
Well, and I think to that exact point is why women make so much overtures, right? Like if I'm trying to hit on you, I don't want you to have to feel like you're trying to interpret if I'm interested in you or not. Okay. Because that same feeling or worry of like, oh, this could go. Nah, I'm trying to pull it all the way out there so you don't have to worry or think about or wonder anymore. Like, I like you and I want you.
That doesn't happen like often. Of women shooting. But to your point, sure.
I'm trying to explain to you, you're saying that women are allowed certain overtures that men aren't allowed. And I'm telling you that a part of the reason for that is the other side of that is something that men are totally oblivious to. Putting myself in proximity to you, looking at you across the bar, like these subtle things that women feel like they're doing to entice a man or bring a man in for a man to shoot their shot. Past a certain point, it's like, okay, this is not working anymore. Like he's not picking up any of the hints that I feel like I'm dropping, and now I'm going to be overt. And I'm overt in order to get some sort of result, get some sort of movement going.
I agree with that. That is true. What I'm trying to say is, like the 8 to 9 times out of 10, the woman will stop at the look, and like if you're not getting any emotion off of the subtleties, they're not going to go to extra step. Like, all right, fuck, I'm going in. I gotta go and get in their face and be like, hey, what's up? Blah, 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 blah. That's generally not going to happen. That is rare. It's not. It is not the norm. That was what my previous point was trying to say. Instead of like, I'm not trying to move the goalposts. I'm just trying to point out that scenario. The even the comments were, oh, I tapped the man on the shoulder and it was blah blah blah, or I looked at the man and say, I'm going to marry you. That doesn't happen in numbers. It's usually the other way around, and it's complicated, but not really. What don't you agree with what I'm saying?
I don't disagree with anything that you're saying. I hear you and understand. This is not where I expected the conversation to go. So my are like,
how we get here?
Yeah, how did we get here?
I don't know. We just be talking. But one of the other points I took away from that was like, yo, it can be very, very easy for a relationship to get started if only like the woman would take a little bit of the initiative. So from what I guess it's kind of a confirmation bias because there's not going to be anyone who's writing about how they shot their shot and it didn't work out. This is about people who shoot their shot and it went in. But I'm just like the scenarios, the things that they did in order to get it seemed simple. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I told him my intention, or I made some overture. They were receptive. We're married 7 years with 3 kids.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that's the simplified version, but I agree with you. It is like and I feel like we've talked about this before, that like there seems to be a large pool or a relative from our relative sample group, a pool of people where the woman was the person who made the pass first, and then that resulted in.
I think those type of situations will probably result in higher successful relationships, potential relationships, if it was the woman who shot the shot first.
Explain.
Because like when men shoot their shot, even though it's traditional, there is a lot more barriers in place for a potential positive interaction, and that leads to a relationship to come into place. Not only like a man approaches a woman, you got to overcome that whole like that danger, like you're inherently a threat just by being a man and approaching a woman. So you got to overcome that. Then you got to make sure she's attracted to you. You know, hopefully she's attracted to you, because you don't know that when you talk to her, and then if she's attracted to you, you got to make sure that she's attracted to you enough to actually want to pursue something with you. Then once you do that, then you gotta like try to seal the deal through planning dates and doing all those things. And at any point during those situations, one little thing can throw you off. You get to the date, you chew too loud, you out of here. Now I'm saying you get to the date, you forget to open the door or something, you out of here. You get to the date, you ain't lying, you line up one extra crispy, you out of here. You say something a little wild, oh, he voted Republican, you out of here. You know what I mean? So it's a lot versus the barrier of entry for a woman with a man is significantly lower. The level of difficulty is significantly lower. If a woman just goes to a man, the implication already there's like, I like you, I want you, I want to go out with you. So like it's already understood from the man's side. So it's going to be a quick yes or no. And if it's yes from the man, he gonna go on that. The date is going to happen. It's going to go with a I'm not looking for a reason to disqualify you unless you fuck your own bag up.
Okay. I mean, some of those reasons why she said no were valid. So let me just add that I'm not dating no Republican.
Yeah,
you can get out of here. A Republican who voted for Trump, I guess more specifically. A Republican, meh. But
when I say Republican, I mean like they have some
opposing views.
Yeah, opposing views, or what's the word? Not liberal, but they are conservative. They have a couple of conservative views or something like that. It's like, nah, I'm out of here. If you're not all the way super hyper liberal, are you out of here? And those things are like, that's real, but the opposite is also true. If you're not extra super conservative, you out of here as well. But
yeah. And I mean, I feel like that goes back to what episode was that? 96?
Something, one of those.
Where we talked about standards versus expectations. Like that harps back on that. Like if you're disqualifying people for things that you have that are expectations as opposed to standards, that's on you, either party, on the man or on the woman. So I get that. But what you're saying about women's success rate brings up for me another video that I feel like is,
I like how they
I'm trying to segue.
Hey, segue city.
Where I'm thinking about how some of these things are in competition with each other, these ideas.
Expect to be taken care of everywhere, right? Yeah. It's just in America, when a black woman says she want to be taken care of, it's a problem. And then when she began to take care of herself, it's still a problem. When people tell me I'm bossed up, that's what they say. Or I'm intimidated by you, you will see. Oh, I can't afford you. I can't. Like I should be your motivation to be ambitious enough to come up here. Yeah. So you can take care of a woman like me, because I'm not gonna suffer in my lifestyle that I know that I deserve. And like, I come from poverty. I come from nothing. So that God gave me a gift to live this life. I'm gonna live it to the fullest. And I'm not gonna wait on anybody to give me that ability or give me that reason to do that. I have to create that for myself until someone comes along. But you think when somebody come along and be like, oh no, I got my own money, I'm too independent. No, like, and then people talking about splitting bills and stuff. See, I'm the type, I ain't even got time for pettiness, right? Like, just give me the bill, I'll pay for it.
If a man doesn't have it and they request that the bill be split and you say, okay, I got it. You don't think that would make him feel a certain way?
You shouldn't ask to split the bill
but
in the first place.
What if he only got half?
Well, we shouldn't be outside and expect to be.
Oh no. I was going to hear the rest of it.
Black one.
We heard it all.
Okay.
I'd never get text messages. That was very unusual.
I think it's because of the get together that's supposed to be popping.
Oh. So my thought process for what you were saying with the expectations and standards and ways that women disqualify men, and how, as a woman, when you shoot your shot, you have a higher success rate. But then in the same instance, like say you have that higher success rate in dating, you have that higher success rate in the business world, and you are successful financially, how does that then come to bite you in the butt, i.e. this video?
Are we talking from like a woman's perspective? Like a woman being hyper successful in all aspects of her life, going into the dating game and expecting to be as successful? Like I'm not understanding the question.
I'm not understanding the question either, because now what you said back to me, it doesn't make any sense. But the segue that I was trying to make, or the connection that I was trying to draw, is what you were saying about women's success in dating and then their expectations, like disqualifying people, and how on the reverse side, as a woman, you can have certain things that will make men disqualify you. even if you were to shoot your shot. So like this successful woman, even if she were to shoot her shot as at a man that she was interested in, she could be met with all of these same things of like, you too bossed up. You don't want all of these things that are being projected on her. And so how does she win?
Well, the thing that comes to mind for me about, how I guess a super boss up woman could win in dating, is like the metrics that she's using to measure success. So like the metrics she's using for, I hate to use the word value, but like the measures that she's using to determine her desirability in the dating market. Like just because you bossed up financially and in your job doesn't mean that like that increases your desirability as a woman in the dating market. Just like they're saying, like just like a man's ability to make a bunch of money and all that stuff, while it does like raise your desirability a little bit, it doesn't seal the deal for a man. Because if not, we wouldn't be having these conversations about, oh, did he corny or what have you. So there's some intangibles that comes with it from both sides. Now, a man looking at a woman to date, they're not necessarily looking at the finances, what they do for a job and stuff like that. Those things are important. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, saying we don't give a fuck if you make any money or not. We definitely do care. I'm just saying like the weight that is placed on it from a man's perspective is nowhere near as high as a woman place it on a man. And I think women expect us to look at it from this and give it the same weight that women do. So it's like, well, I'm making, I want a man who can make this, and this, and this. And because that's the best in my mind. That's what my best man is going to look like. So if I'm there, that must mean I must be the best woman too. But it's like, no, that's not the standards and regulations or what have you that men look at for women to determine your viability, your desirability out here. Now, so like you can be bossed up and all stuff like that, but like you are a pain in the ass to talk to. I can't talk to you. We can't have a conversation. If we get into conflict, you arguing at me and I'm feeling like I'm in a fight for my life because you're used to, arguing your point. It's being in your face, because in order to be successful in the job, in the job market, to be hyper successful, to get these 6-figure plus jobs, to be bossed up, it requires a certain type of mentality and a certain type of aggressiveness that you need in order to be that successful. It comes with a certain amount of I don't give a fuck. You got to be able to like step on motherfuckers, not care that you like when you make these deals. That technically means somebody ain't getting that deal. You got to you got to be able to not cry about that. And in order to be successful at that, in order to be good at that, it requires a certain type of mentality that if you try to bring that into a relationship with a man and the man is not looking for, and men are not looking for that type of aggressiveness, or I'm not gonna say aggressive. I think aggressive is a buzzword out here these days. But that type of mentality of of being like hyper successful in everything, and being, sometimes it comes with being uncompromising, and that is one of the main things that men absolutely do not want to see in their woman. Someone who is completely uncompromising is like, my way or the highway. I'm a boss. A boss say I call the shots and shit happen. I don't give a damn. I'm not trying to hear no back talk. I'm not trying to handle that. As a man who's supposed to be the leader, and who I believe these women are also looking for the man to be a leader. How can he be a leader if for you the leader? So if you come in with that energy, yeah, you got all this money, yeah, you successful, yeah, you look good, but I can't be what you want. Like, you're not looking for me. You're not looking for me. That's not the energy. That's not going to attract the type of people the type of men that you say you want. And I hate to say it, but that is true. It has to be a little bit of a balance when it comes to that. Yeah, you can be happy. I'm not saying don't be successful at the job, don't get your money, don't get your bag, and don't catch these flights and live your best life because you don't want to wait on nobody. I commend you for that. It is it is a great thing that you are able to do that. Because it's not easy, man or woman, to be able to get where you at. So hyper success, but that success does not equal to success in a relationship. Completely separate skill sets, and I don't think those women or those people are willing to separate those skill sets and develop them independently of each other. And that's why they continue to bump their head, because it's like, yo, I'm so successful. Why can't I get it? Why can't I? Because you're not developing the skills that are valued for your position.
Good points, babe. Especially the idea around being uncompromising, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I think that is the thing that people are running up against when it's like, no, I can't date him. No, I can't date. He has this wrong. He has that wrong. You know, like, you're not willing to be understanding and be, and I don't know, I guess compromise is also a tricky word. Yeah. You're not willing to be accommodating.
Ooh, there we go.
You're not willing to accommodate the other person and what they have going on. And so if I'm not willing to accommodate you, you're not willing to accommodate me. It doesn't feel like there's any value add. It doesn't feel like something is being added to my life, that I am experiencing something that is unique and wonderful and like all the things that maybe we expect to experience when we're in love. And without that value add, it doesn't really make sense to try to be in a relationship with someone. It's not. The good feelings aren't going to come without the value add. Like, I think they're all connected to each other. And so, yeah, that was a really good point. Way to go.
Thank you. I've tried to keep it, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to cast no blame or do anything like that. I'm just trying to call it as I see it, from, personal lived experience and observation. Like, that seems to be like the main divider, I guess. And, men have been trying to like communicate that through varying levels of success, but it doesn't seem like the point is sticking. Like it's being, I guess, understood or picked up. Maybe because they don't want to, or maybe because they're just not hearing the right. Maybe we just haven't found the correct way to communicate it. But I don't know how we can say it. You know what I'm saying? We can't be too blunt with it on some Kevin Samuel shit, or, people gonna wish death on you. We can't be too nice about it, otherwise, because then you're not going to hear us and not pay attention to us and what have you. So trying to find that balance is kind of tough. Women can't come out and say it because then they get called pygmies.
It is some pygmy.
I'm not saying that pygmies don't exist, but everything ain't that. Yeah. So unfortunately how it's standing is just gonna have to be on some Darwinism shit. Like, hey, let the chips fall where they lie. If you learn, you learn. If you don't, I'm sorry that happened to you. Better luck in the next life, I guess. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I think that's just how it is. That also is not just true for women who are out here. The same thing for these dudes out here.
Yeah, you don't have forever.
You don't have forever. It's a lot of lonely dudes out here who not really trying to do what they need to do in order to be successful out here when it comes to relationships. So either you're gonna learn and find your partner of choice or partner that you can get, or you're not. And hey, I just hope. Thoughts and prayers there, all parties involved, as Trill would say from Crew Season. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I feel like as I was saying my piece, I was like, oh my God, the comments that could potentially be under this that be coming from ready. Me. I was like, oh God. But
get ready. Yeah.
So how you feeling? You got anything else?
Yeah. Shoot Your Shot 101. That's the name of the episode. Like, shoot him up, lay him down, pipe it up.
Yeah,
pipe it down.
One of the benefits, I would say, for women shooting their shot more often, not only are the chances of success, I think, higher, in my opinion, I also believe it will lower danger, the chances of danger, because the power is in your control, because you get to pick and choose when you're going to approach, as opposed to you don't know when a man's going to approach you. Does that make sense?
Keep going.
There's a level of control that a woman are able to exert. So if men inherently, just by the presence, it presents like a physical danger to a woman, as they are, and part of that danger comes with, I can just be walking down the street and a guy can just be walking up to me, but I don't know if he's here to say, hey, you got something on your shirt. He's here to knock me upside my head. He'd kill me, take whatever, what have you. So there's a lot element of not having control, not having any kind of control over the situation or what have you. I think by women like approaching men that they're interested in, they're allowed to take that. You're taking a little bit of ownership over that. You're taking a little bit of control over like who it is that you speak to, like when you decide to, to approach, and also how you approach. So if you see a man across the way and you're interested in him, you don't know if this motherfucker is a serial killer, but you just know that you're interested in him. And so, but instead of like giving him the look and the wink in the eye and hoping he approach in some respectful way that you haven't played out in your mind, which could or could not come true, you can go ahead and take a little control of the situation and approach in the manner in which you would like that interaction to go, and have the interaction that you would like to have. And then chances are it is more liable to be a little bit more successful because like you're making your intentions known. That cuts out a lot of the guesswork from the guy. He doesn't have to be, have to come up with some kind of, suave, reinvent the wheel in order to like be extra original in order to get your attention from I'm assuming multiple different dudes who are trying to highlight you, but you curving. So I think it allows women to take a little bit of power and control when it comes to the interaction and being the figure. I mean, it would make more sense, right? If women do more of the disqualifying when it comes to dating, and men we're just trying to qualify. Wouldn't it make sense for the woman to be, the one who pursue, who would be the headhunter, so to speak, who are out here trying to build the best team, trying to find the best person to fill a position?
Yes and no, because I think the other part of it is your a fear around setting up an expectation that I'm going to be the person who consistently pursues. I will pursue you once. That's it. Like from my perspective, I'll shoot my shot, sure. But for us to go on a date, I'm still going to expect you to pay on the date. For us to be in a relationship, I'm still going to expect you to ask for us to be in a relationship. Like, I guess a little part of the concern is how much of our relationship are you going to expect me to assert or direct for us to be able to make any forward movement? And I mean, I guess in some regards, women do that anyway, right? Like women are the ones who are like, we should probably get married, or like, we should probably do this. Like, I think that there's a little bit of that happens once you're in a relationship. But for me, the concern is I will do this once, but I don't want to set the tone that you can always expect that I'm going to approach, direct, guide. I mean,
I guess I hear where you're coming from on that aspect. It's a fear of like, if we start doing that, then like the expectation is going to flip on its head, and suddenly it's going to be the expectation is only women pursue and shoot shots, and men just the receivers. I guess I can see how that can be like a fear of it, but it's like I don't think that would bear out. What happened to communicating your expectations? What happened to like, hey, I know that I shot my shot at you, but I just want you to know that like I'm still like these are my expectations when it comes to dating. I shot my shot because I like you. I saw you, and I want to let you know that I'm interested. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to be out here doing all the things that the societal expectations have for men is going to be the case. But on the flip side, I mean, how do men communicate to women that we don't want to set the expectation that just because I walked up to you and asked you out on a date and paid for the first date or the first couple of dates that I want to pay for every date moving forward? How do we explain to a woman that, hey, I would like every once in a while to be taken out on a date, for you to come up with the idea because we would like to be shown that you care about that you're interested in us, and you care about doing something that I'm interested in and curious enough to do that work in order to to show me by treating every once in a while. Like all right, how can men communicate that to women without being called sassy or being called, being like the sexuality immediately being attacked? Because like, how dare you expect a woman to do those type of things? That's what a man is supposed to do, and men supposed to do that with a smile on their face forever and never expect any sort of reciprocity. Do you how does that work out?
First of all, I think that is an extreme, and hearing it in reverse sounds like what I presented was an extreme as well. So I recognize that, and I I don't necessarily take it back, but I recognize that and I'm changing my thoughts on it.
Okay.
I do recognize that is an extreme. The same way that there's a little bit of implicit, like, if you like me, you would do this, right? Mm-hmm. Like, people who like other people show up in this way. They take them on dates. They buy them gifts for their birthday. They do things with them that they're exclusively interested in because they want to show their interest in them. So I agree with you. I think where the extreme comes in is where there are people who don't participate in those rules, right? Like that, who don't think that there's any reciprocity necessary, who think like, no, a man is an ATM. He's supposed to pay for my lifestyle, give me the things that I want, allow me. Same as the people who are like, I don't want a man who tells me no. I'd rather take a married man who tells me yes all the time. Those people are in the extreme group where it's like, I just want what I want. A relationship is an opportunity for me to get something fulfilled, to have a transaction happen and have some value added to my life. As opposed to the other group of people who are more like, okay, a relationship is an opportunity for reciprocity, for some give and some take, for us both to be able to benefit and grow and walk beside each other on this journey of life. So I think it's just two different camps of people. And if one person from the extreme camp and one person from the other camp were to get together, that's where the conflict comes in. That's where you hear the crazy stuff on social media. Like, I can't believe this person did this, or like, I can't believe they acted in that way. I can. Those people exist. Yeah, like,
I think I heard a story.
I can. I definitely believe that those people exist. And I believe that those people exist in numbers and don't end up finding, I guess, I don't want to say their match. Well, in some regards, I do feel like people like that meet their match every once in a while. But like, that relationship wouldn't survive because they're both just trying to get something from the other person. Like, that's why they end up trying to find someone from the other camp to get what they can out of them.
Yep. And the people who think, who just trying to take, those people deserve less. Like, when you was talking, I was reminded of that story of like a woman was telling a story about how she met a dude for a date. He parked somewhere and she decided to do valet. And then she was like, the audacity of him not wanting to pay for her valet parking. And it's like, should I still continue to see him because I feel some type of way? I'm like, wild. But yeah, I like your ending point. I like that point.
Are we ending? We're wrapping up?
Yeah, we got to.
Okay.
What's up? Do you have any other points? Anything
no.
else you want to say?
I appreciate you.
I love you too, and I love you too.
The whole world needs to know.
Yeah, it's my baby right here. There goes my baby. I ain't gonna do the falsetto because I can't sing.
And they might flag
us. I doubt it because they probably gonna be like, "What is this song? It can't be Usher." So yeah, that being said, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. We appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of the Buffet Podcast. Let us know what y'all think about this episode. Y'all got any thoughts on any of the points we made? We would love to hear your feedback. Shoot us an email, a DM, or what have you. We do our best to respond.
Yeah, and if you're out here shooting your shot as a lady, let us know what you got.
Yeah, let us know what was how did you bag your man? Like, if you shot a shot, what has been what has been the easiest? What has been the most humorous, the funniest, interesting manner in which you've been able to secure a partner, no matter how long the relationship lasted? Let us know. Yeah. All right. Once again, welcome and goodbye. We appreciate y'all tuning in to episode 98. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Come on now, stop playing with our subs.
Yeah,
we're trying to get this algorithm popping for us. So yeah, we'll tune in to us next week, and for episode 99,
99 and 2000.
Peace.